this is Sean again, and we need to talk. Give me 1 second to regain my bearings. Something outside, there's just a random amount of ducks that just flew by the window, and I have no idea what's happening. But actually, we do need to talk because it's been over a month, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but almost certain it's been over a month since the last video, and I want to explain a lot of stuff. I want to basically go through like what's going on in my head with all this. And I'm sorry, I just gave everyone who's watching whiplash from like flinging myself around the screen. But I believe it deserves some sort of response because this is unacceptable. Well, first off, one of the I don't like this. Oh no, I can't do this. You have to be the same type. But there it is. One of the main reasons I haven't been back is because of the fact that like I just get really pressured when making the videos. Like I feel like they have to be perfect. Like once I come back, there has to be something new, something that's happened, something interesting. And if I haven't had something interesting, like for example, when in the second video, I showed you all of this, which I hated the fact that I did that because I would have loved to do this on camera. And you guys see all the times I have to remake these tubes and make so many of these. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I made so many of them. I mean, all of these and the tubes and the chests and the funnel system to bring this stuff out through here and sort all the stuff through the different chests in this room. And it was really interesting. But something told me like, oh, well, you can't come back unless something interesting has happened, which not the case. Not at all the case. I just realized, yeah, I did have places for those. And then there's this. Now, this is an interesting story because since the last video, I did record one. And in that video, I built this, well, it was two different buildings, if you remember, and I basically connected them and made them one. Now, I did all of that on camera, and we talked about different animals, and since this is the new lab, we talked about different, like, genealogies of animals, like elephants, manatees, and hyraxes, and different strange connections between animals and all that stuff. But after I was like, okay, I'm gonna go look through it and see what I need to edit, I put it through the editor and there is no audio in the entire video. And I'm like, that's useless. I did all this work and nothing. Like we made all of this stuff, except for the cultivators, which were sent back from the old world in a box that we ended up cleaning out, and I removed it, and that's what's right there. But it's just that, like, I had this feeling that if I didn't do something interesting each episode, or what might be seen as interesting each episode, it would just, like, kind of be boring to watch. And that comes with, like, well, and that wasn't like realized until one of my friends who watches like the series sent me a message saying like, hey, what if we just like walked around and just like looked at the animals or all that stuff? And I'm like, you know, honestly, that is what I wanted to do. Like, but I was like, well, that's not interesting to everyone. Like, if something doesn't change, if there's not some cool big thing that's new, then how am I going to be sure people are actually interested? But now that I think about it, it's the like the going through the different species and that all that like stuff that makes me happy, that makes me want to do these videos. So if I don't want to do the videos, then of course it won't be interesting to you guys because it's not interesting to me. So long story short, we're going to get back to basics. We're going to do the things that we love. And yeah, and if you might have guessed, but Siri, the Pixel Biology channel, one of my favorite channels released a video yesterday talking about this exact subject. And as she was talking about it, it was like kind of hitting me because I was like, yeah, I do this a lot because I was like, well, you've got to make a whole bunch of new stuff for things to be interesting, and it's got to be ready for everyone, because if it's not ready, then they don't want to watch it. If they don't want to watch it, then why are you doing it? But then I pulled that whole thing apart and I was like, I'm doing it because I want to. Because I love talking about ecology and wildlife and what flamingos' closest relatives are and what interesting facts about cattle and rabbits and how rabbits were old, and I'm trying to remember like the entire situation. Like they were pregnancy tests for a little bit. And it's a really interesting thing because they were accurate pregnancy tests. Um, but like I realized that that's what I enjoy. Hello, Mr. Cow. Um, and you can't put like a perfect sticker on that because it's can't be perfect. And I keep trying to make it perfect, but when I try and like, oh, there has to be a new building every episode, and there has to be new characters and new custom NPCs, and I've got to make them before I record, then nothing gets done because I keep telling myself, oh, I have to do this first, and this, and this, and this. And it just turns into doing a lot of stuff that ultimately does not really add to it because I'm not really doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I feel like I have to. And it's not good. It's really not. So how I'm going to fix that, at least in like my personal life, is I'm going to cut a lot of stuff. Not cut like just clean slate, drop everything, and just go live in a yurt in the middle of the woods. No, no, no. I mean, like, I'm going to simplify things down. Why do I love this? What makes me happy? And for example, this is a place that's, I'm going to call Brandon's Botanicals, and it's going to sell different plants related to the exhibits that we're making. That way we can accurately have plants because it'll sell plants according to their actual like global relation. For example, say we wanted to do a Australian eucalyptus rainforest, then it'll sell plants that are actually found in rainforests in Australia in eucalyptus forests. So I really want to do that. And it's themed after my friend Brandon, who's really big into plants and horticulture. And I was talking to him and I had the idea, and it's kind of a surprise, but he slightly knows about it, but he doesn't really know what the plan is. So when he finds out, he's gonna flip. But it's stuff like that. Like that wasn't because I was like, oh, I need to make a shop because in the old world we had a shop. No, that was because I was just talking to Brandon, and he was talking about how much he loves plants and growing things because he loves like the idea of growing something and seeing it. And I'm like, that's amazing. So his passion for that sort of made me want to add his passion into this world and like make a actual shop where he can sell them, like sell like actual plants to the public because that's what he wants to do. You can do so much and it's so cool, and I just really love this. I also walked around and adventured a little bit and found this area, which was just up here. And I want to turn this into a pretty interesting area. And I kind of started carving out, you can see like the little corners on the sides, but it's going to be the flamingo exhibit for the great flamingo, which we got back from the other world. And I want to add all the pink stuff because I want this to also be the sacred area, because I really want to re-add that because I really love those spaces. They were so cool. And I want to do some deventing and sort of make it look like actual rock. I want this place to look like a natural spring. It's just gorgeous. I don't know how else to describe it. I really would love like to make this and then sort of put this curved fence around it to sort of keep the flamingos in, and then have a gate where that way you can walk in and you can be with the flamingos, and you'd be in this entirely pink and gorgeous just sort of reflection area. There'd be a pool of water on the side, and I just love that idea. I wanted to do that, and that just seems so amazing. But while I was looking at that, I wanted to turn this, and I really want you guys' opinions. Please let me know anything you come up with, any ideas, or if you say, oh, that'd be dumb, just give me something. I want to turn this entire bowl area into birds. Like, I want to sort out exhibits for different bird species, and especially since exotic birds actually add species instead of just like the model, there's actually different skins for different species. So I really want to do that. We have a few eggs that came back from the old world, and I actually want to go and show you guys the different stuff that came back from the old world. Also, with that, because this is very, very annoying to me, I want to remove all of this quicksand. It is a plague upon the world. Be free, farm animals. We've got to keep this area safe. I mean, how can you expect to have a park if people can't walk around? Buddy, you jumped straight into that. There we go. And I really want to just like have a day where we just walk around this area, remove all the quicksand, because I've seen like, of course, rabbits we just saw, and horses and cows and sheep and a whole bunch of other animals just get trapped in them. One time I even saw like one of the Mo creatures animals that I thought would have been perfect for an exhibit. He was walking around over here, and it was this exact spot. And he walked around and he fell in, and that was the end of him. And I was like, why? I think it was a bear. I was like, oh, imagine a bear exhibit. And then as I was like going back to like see if I had the stuff to make a there's that safari net, he apparently walked into this, and I just heard like the sounds of like bear being attacked and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure it would have been a cool bear exhibit. But yeah. Anyways, back onto topic. I really want to turn this area into like birds and have different areas, and we can use the biome wands to sort of turn them from, actually, what is this biome? F3? Step into like, say we want to turn this area into rainforest and that area into desert and different areas into different biomes. That way we can actually like effectively showcase the ecosystems that the animals that we're showing are in or from. So I thought that'd be really cool to do, and I just really, really enjoy this. And I think this season, I'm just gonna do what makes me happy and just enjoy it, because me trying to feel like everything has to be done before you guys see it, it does not work. That's how we end up with episodes that are a month after the past one or 2 months after the last one. Because I feel like if I'm not giving you a complete product, no one wants to see it. And that's not good. That is definitely not good. So I made myself 2 to 3 promises. Promises to you guys. Promise 1. This will have some sort of progress done since then. I'm not saying it's going to be done, and I really hope it's not, because if it is, then I've reverted back to old ways, and that's not good. But it'll have something done, like maybe it'll be all excavated or something, or who knows, there'll maybe be a fence around it, but it won't be done. The other one is Brenda's Botanicals. It will not be finished. It won't. I'm not going to make it to where everything's done in one episode. And if it's not finished in that episode, then by the next one, it's perfectly done and completely furnished and all that. No, that's not happening anymore. This time, we're just going to work at a real pace. So there might be a part of the building done and the rest of it sort of like like the ground's broken up. There might be like some parts of it are completely done and then another section of it's not right at all. So I don't want to leave a lot of stuff undone because that's how we ended up with Come Alive being a beautiful building from the outside, but it had no actual character on the inside. Like, yeah, you had the colored panels at the top, but it was just a building with a tree. And I feel like that's what a lot of what I do is missing because like the different exhibits, I make them off camera. So there's no like real connection to like when I make, what was that? The Rhino exhibit from the old world. When I made that, I was like, it's a cool exhibit, but not like, wow, there's so much work that went into this because, I mean, I did it all off camera and there was no conversation. There was no like actual things we talked about. So I feel like that is really missing and I don't know what to do about it. So yeah, I want to do this different. And the best way I can think of doing it different is actually show you guys what's happening. So when I build something, I want to actually record it. And I want to actually record like videos to where you guys can see what's going on because I can't understand it. Words do not explain and I don't know what else I'm saying. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to do. But basically what I'll do now is I'm going to go build something. I might work on that. Might work on that. I might even make a museum. Oh, yeah. So I went fishing and I used an iron fishing rod completely. And the last thing I pulled out was this very special item. Where, oh my gosh, I had it in my inventory. The Neptunium axe. I don't want to use it at all because it looks amazing. So I'm going to make a museum and I don't know where, but if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I really have no idea. I'm honestly thinking of just, instead of doing the underwater thing, I'm kind of thinking of clearing the top of this off and then making a museum out of this. I feel like that'd be interesting and pretty cool looking, personally. Oh, and we can keep this little tunnel and that could be the entrance, like an underground entrance to a museum. I love it. But if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I'm all ears and I really love you guys' comments. I really love to get information from you guys because that's what makes it interesting to me is when like you guys can like comment say, oh, I really like that, or oh, that was kind of weird, or oh, suggesting names for different animals or different ideas for exhibits. That's a big one because we have a lot of different animals and I mean, we could do a lot. And here we go. I meant to walk in here. We have the different ichthyosaurs. We have the zebra shark, the rhinos and the mushroom, the cranes, the cassowaries, and the flamingo. And then we have all these different eggs, which I need to set up that way they will actually hatch. And you guys are part of all of this. So if you have any suggestions, oh, also, you have this, a mammoth. I don't know what to do. I've never dealt with mammoths. I wonder what the plural of mammoth is. But I've never dealt with like Jurassic Craft or Boston archaeology, like um, Paleos, shoot, what's it called? Ice Age animals. There's an actual word for that age, and I cannot remember it. But so, I mean, that's kind of something I'm curious about how to figure out how to do because I am lost extremely. And I really want to do that right. And maybe you guys have worked with the mod before or have seen different people work with it, but I don't know what to do with these and I don't want to kill them on accident because I heard that like at least with the new update of fossil archaeology, they actually can they know what biome they're in and they can get sick if they're not in the right biome. And I'm like, oh, no pressure though. That's cool. Um, so yeah, you guys can help me out with that. Um, Last thing I want to say is if you can, if you want to, don't feel like you have to, please like, comment. If you aren't already subscribed, I'll try and be more attentive to these because I really love doing them. There's going to be a new, what is that, campaign coming out for the Sean's World Shop very soon, so keep an eye out for that. I'll leave a link to it in the next video, but for now I'll leave the link up to the Sean's World Shop out. There's a whole bunch of different stuff going on. Oh, make sure to follow on Instagram. Yeah. Also, there's a Facebook page link down at the bottom if you would like to. Don't feel obligated at all. Really don't. It's okay. But I just want to say have a wonderful day, and I hope everything is going well.